Good day, it's Tony from the tech firm, and I've got this Nikon Coolpix L22, and as you can see here, it's quite common. My battery cover, as you can see here in the next slide, has been damaged and broken. So I did a little digging around the internet, and sure enough, this is quite common, and it's going to cost a ridiculous amount of money to fix, so most people will throw out the camera. Well, I've done a little video here, show you how to fix this. It took me about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to do this, and I'm going to say I've never done this before, so everybody's got a good chance on this one. So let's get started. First thing I did was, this is optional, you don't have to do this. I bought this extractor kit, and they're used to open up electronic devices like phones and whatnot, and it's highly helpful. If you ever do anything else, this is a great way to do it. The other way is just to use the side of a knife or a screwdriver and pry things open, but I usually break things when I do that. The second thing I do is I have this jeweler's kit here, and this jeweler's kit is just small screwdrivers, and you can get in and take the small screws out relatively easily. The other thing I ordered was the replacement battery cover, and if you just go to eBay and search for Coolpix L22 battery cover, these tons of them will come up. This costs like $5, so there you go. Let's get into it. So we get our screwdriver here, our Phillips, and basically we start taking the screws off, and the screws are on the side and this other side and the bottom. Oddly enough, no screws on the top. If you're not sure on the bottom, you'll notice there's several screws. Just take them all out. It's not a big deal. You're not going to break anything. And the second thing is when you take the screws off, a little tip for you, don't just leave them on a hard surface. They tend to bounce and they'll go on the floor and whatnot. So just put them in a napkin or a towel or whatever, and that way they'll stay in one spot. Then I use this extractor tool. As you can see, the profile here is kind of cool. I slipped it in there with the little notch facing forward, and it popped right open like a clamshell. Just bang, no problem. Don't freak out. The lint and everything, it's just quite normal. It's not a big deal. It doesn't affect the camera in any way. And in the top corner, I've got an LCD cover that I never put on quite well. So my LCD is not damaged. It's just the way it looks on an angle. You lift up that, just lift up that LCD, and then you'll see there's a metal plate, and you've got to take the screws out. Now this is a little tricky because some of the screws are covered with these little rubber pads. So just make sure you lift up the little rubber pads and take the screws off accordingly. And again, just put the screws aside. They're different than the case screws, so just put them aside, a little different spot or slightly off to the side. Do you do that, the metal plate comes off, and now you can get to that little bar that keeps the cover in. So you pull a little bar out, you take your new cover, then you put that little bar back in, and then basically do everything else in reverse. It's that simple. You put your metal plate back on, you put your screws back in, don't forget the little rubber feet, and then from there you just snap the cover together. Now a little trick for you: when you put the cover together, you might want to start slipping it in from the bottom first, because I found that was quite tricky. So do the bottom first, it'll line up, and then the rest of it will snap back together. Put your screws back in, and off you go. So hope that helps. Have a good day. Bye for now.